Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the final round of the Caplin Menchik Memorial Tournament. We are now joined by a very special guest, one of the stars of the tournament, who got a WIM norm, even with some rounds to spare. And this is Kamila Hryshchenko. Welcome and big congratulations on your play.
Hello, everyone. Yes, then we have Kamila, who is extremely best performance of the tournament. A big surprise for everyone because she started as a last seeded player of the tournament, 2037. And after yesterday rounds, she was actually on the place 1, which is incredible achievement. And it's not often happening when you can actually achieve score from the last place to get to the first place. Very well done, Kamila.
Yeah.
We are very proud of you.
What's your tournament performance? Do you know what?
We actually need to check what is current now. As soon as the round will finish, we want to check all the players' rating performance. But I need to say, after round, I believe 7, it was 23.98.
My goodness! Wow, that is incredible. That's like IM level.
Yes. She easily could do the title, I think, and that's probably will come very soon. Kamila now is living in England, and she is still under Ukrainian flag. Yes. But we're hoping to bring Kamila maybe soon for the 4NCL matches and get in the first division. Then, if any team is interested.
Wonderful. This is really fantastic news. Very good. Very big welcome, Kamila. Yeah. And so is this your first tournament in England, or have you played some other?
Yeah, it's my first tournament.
First one.
First one, and already
on a roll already. Yeah. Hopefully a lucky place for you to play chess. Yeah.
I really love the game of Kamila with Joanna Dworakowska. I think it was actually the best game of the tournament. Maybe later, if we have some time, we can bring that game on the screen, then we can have a look all together. It was really emotional and nice game, beautiful from the beginning till the end.
Is Harriet around? We could do it.
Harriet is here, just with us.
Yeah. We can just get it up now.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah. Nice to see you.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thanks, Aga. Sorry, I didn't mean to displace you.
We swapped the places.
That's all right. Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen, and then Kamila, if you say what game you would like to have a look at, and I will, and if you know which round it's in as well, and I can find your game.
So did you think your game against Joanna was your best game, or do you think your game against Katarzyna was better?
Yeah, it was Katarzyna. It was really,
because I think your game against Katarzyna was actually a better game. But I mean, obviously, it's beating Joanna is a great result, but I would say probably
yeah, it was beautiful. I think it's 8 round.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to overrule Aga here, and because
I can accept that.
Yeah, and find another great game that Kamila won against WGM.
Very good player. Yeah.
Against.
And you were black in this game as well.
Yeah,
Kamila.
and I think and Katarzyna said as well that Kamila just kept incredibly cool, despite Kata's best attempts to attack her.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys do most of the talking here. So E4 by Kata.
Okay, so you played a modern defence, yeah, Kamila, which I think was probably not a surprise to her. I mean, you'd played it also in other games this tournament, so I don't think I'm giving away any great secrets.
I played it for really a lot of years. So
Okay, and were you expecting Katarzyna's reaction?
I saw that she played like structure, bishop c4 and then queen e2, something like that.
So you mean she did something different than one? Okay, so she's played a very aggressive system, right, with an early f4.
Yeah, f4. Yeah. Were you scared of that, or did you quite like to see that?
No, I like it, and sometimes I play c5 after knight f3. because my opponent should know this line. But if she doesn't, it's really better for me, I think. But yeah, I played castle.
Yeah. And she went bishop d3. And now you did c5.
Okay, so this is some kind of Austrian attack.
Yeah.
White is playing here.
d5. And knight a6. Queen e2.
Queen e3, it's a bit mistake because, for example, for white, I like when they play castle and queen in e1, as in queen h4. I think it's better for white to play it like that.
Okay.
It's more aggressive, and yeah.
So instead of queen e2, Natasha.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of queen e2.
If white castles, and then with the idea of putting the queen on e1 and then swinging it over to the queen side on h4.
Oh, this typical attack. Queen e1.
This idea, yeah.
Or an f5 and all this stuff, bishop h6 stuff.
Yeah, or sometimes e5 ideas. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but she didn't do it. Yeah, so she went queen e2. Rook b8, castle. And okay, and so you're rerouting your knight to c7. You're going to go for
Or
yeah. Okay, I can hear some of this, but not all of it. So a4. If Kamila sit right near the computer as well. Yeah.
Come a bit closer.
Okay. So bishop d7, king h1, and queen c8.
actually, I prepared like b6, a6, b5. It's a really long plan, but I'm not sure that white had a plan, real plan.
I can see she spent a long time on her last move on king h1, so possibly she was also trying to work out, how to move forward in this position.
Yeah.
Because as Kamila says, if white doesn't actually, do anything, then although she has a lot of space at the moment, then black has a very clear plan on the queen side that actually there isn't really any way for white to hold up. So she has to get going herself over on the other side.
Okay, and she starts that off with e5. Knight back. And knight g5. Bishop g4. Queen e1. Okay, and you decided to kick away this knight with h6. Knight g4, and then you get your queenside play going with a6. Queen h4, b5. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah. Okay. AB, and so you're now forcing back her bishop e2.
To be quite brave to play a position like this with black, don't you? Because
if it's so aggressive and
if it goes wrong, then then you'll be left suffering on the king side. But
that's too interesting, I think, to have a position like that.
So I mean, your e7 pawn is under attack already, isn't it? But your queenside player's just got there so far.
Oh yeah. You kind of hear an f5, so you don't even need to worry about this. What if she? Oh, you're just hitting her knight, so she can't take on e7.
Yeah, but I calculated some rank like queen e7, then fe, ed, knight d6, queen d6, and Yeah, but I
Okay,
I should have
let's see
some-
that on the board. So
Yeah,
so if white just ignores that threat and takes on e7,
Yeah.
and black captures the knight on e4,
Yeah.
and now white captures on d6
With the pawn,
with the pawn. Yeah,
of
it's
course.
protected by a knight. So yeah. So now white, I think what Kamila is saying is white is regaining the piece by force here,
oh yeah,
or maybe
it's another
just
one
rook
line.
f7, just rook f7. No.
Yeah, I think I thought about it on another line.
Okay, so maybe not in this. Maybe in this position, white can't do it
Yeah.
anyway because of just rook f7 and then recaptures on d6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or in
And
knight
that's-
d5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if queen takes
Yeah,
e4,
maybe
then
it's
knight
another
takes
line,
d6, and that's white doesn't have anything like enough for
Yeah.
the piece.
Yeah. Fine.
Doesn't have
So she can't do that at all. So she, so f5, yeah, basically defends that e7 pawn by attacking this knight instead. So white took kind of en passant.
I guess she can she also drop back to c3, or do you then just hit the knight with b4? If she'd gone knight c3 in that position.
Knight c3 now.
No. Instead of taking en passant.
Oh,
Aha.
okay, but e5 it's weakness and
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm not sure.
So here,
We're still threatening the e7
Yeah.
pawn.
yeah.
But maybe black can just go b4 and then the d, yeah,
And take on d5.
and
yeah.
take on d5, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I was confident that she take ef
you were, yeah.
because it should be like that.
I mean, do you think she's worse here already, or do you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
she is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And you've already managed to exchange one pair of minor pieces, which
Yeah.
is always going to take the sting out of white's attack. So if we go back to and go back to the en passant line,
Jack
Natasha.
F5.
Yeah.
So en passant.
Yeah.
And takes. And then Kata played f5. Knight takes.
So I guess there's a risk, if white doesn't play like this. I mean, this turned out very badly for Kata, but the thing is, if she doesn't do this, then these positions where you have a pawn on f4, actually, you really regret having this pawn on f4 because it just gets in the way of the bishop it makes the bishop on c1 very passive. And also, white is already really struggling because she has no good way to defend this pawn on d5. So, yeah, this didn't work out at all for her. But I can see it's the sort of position where you kind of just
She
sort
kind of
have
had to, or she was going to
you
be
have
worse
to keep
anyway.
going, and kind of hope that something turns up, or hope that your opponent makes a mistake in the defense.
Yeah. So she took on h6. And then Kamila took on f5.
That was a mistake,
Yeah.
was it? Okay.
I just then have equal position.
Okay.
After,
So what would be? So did you have a stronger line?
yeah, like g5 maybe.
Oh, really?
And after that, I had
g5 here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just to remind everyone that black is already a piece up in this position because she's captured a knight on e4, okay, and white hasn't made a comparable recapture. White has got a pawn on h6, which looks dangerous, but if black can consolidate, then Kamila is just going to be a piece up here, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if queen e4 and then bishop h6,
Yes. So that
good
swaps
position
off
with
another
one
pair
more
of
piece.
pieces. So I know black's position looks a little bit, untidy, but she is a piece up. So if she can consolidate, then that is going to, she's going to win.
But I think it's too passive for me, and I knew that it can be winning position, but I'm a bit afraid of passive. And,
because you might
I'm
come in
sure-
with a rook and
That's what Kata would be hoping for, is that if she throws enough stuff forward at some point, you get afraid and you miscalculate and you make an error, and then somehow she will get something.
Yeah, I decided to be calmer in this position.
Yeah, but it's quite difficult, because also you think maybe she's calculated or she's seen something that you haven't seen. It's never easy to, it's easy with hindsight, and you can say, okay, white never had enough attack, but actually it's not so easy when you're playing the game and you think, okay, she's a strong player, she must have seen something that I have missed, otherwise why would she be playing down this line in the first place?
Yeah.
So you can't forget about the psychological element as well.
Yeah, and it's quite, play a nice solid move and just keep it under control. So here, and then she took on G7, and you get another pawn here.
Okay, so if she takes back on G7, then if you take back on G7, then she just takes the knight on E4, right?
Yeah.
And so here.
And then how's this position? Is this knight takes D5?
Yeah, and then she had
No. Well, we were looking at king takes D7, queen takes E4, knight takes D5. But okay, you played this first. Does it
there
make
was queen E7 just.
Okay.
Sorry. After king takes, yes. So she doesn't take on E4.
Yeah.
She takes E7 first. Yeah.
And then queen E4.
And then queen to E4. Okay, and black's king is a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now the piece count is equal at least. Okay, and black's king is a little bit shaky over there.
Yeah.
So knight takes D5 first. Okay.
5.
And that's quite it's quite brave to do that, because there's this queen that can come to H8, and we're so kind of
and she had to play queen H8 and then
okay. So this is where she should have gone queen H8 check, king F7.
King here.
Rook takes F5 check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rook takes F5.
I saw that she can play like queen H6 after GF.
Should she play queen H6 or queen to H7?
Oh, sorry, queen H7. Yeah.
Queen H7.
Yeah,
so if Kamila captures back that rook with the G pawn, then white will go queen H7. Okay, so threatening some discovered checks with the bishop.
Yeah. So what? Queen G8?
Quite dangerous.
And then exactly so. Yeah, if queen to G8, which is the obvious kind of defensive move, then white gets to take the pawn on F5 with check.
And then just queen F4.
And then okay, and then we get back that knight on E4. Okay, and then again in this position, so we take that knight on E4, and now white has regained her piece, and again black's king is left.
Yeah, it can be rook A7 and knight just
or possibly rook A3 coming across to the
Yeah, it looks dangerous, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's still not completely clear, because black has some defensive cover in the center, but it's
it's narrow position.
White's regained her material, and she still has a lot of attacking chances there.
So she did queen E4, taking back the piece. And you took.
So actually, that's quite strange that she didn't play that.
Queen is
yeah.
But then it's just equal position.
You think this one is equal?
No, this one better for me. But that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very similar position. It's just you're a whole pawn up here, and it's quite important, that pawn, because it gives your king a lot of shelter apart from anything else.
And then I just had clearly planned how to, I don't know.
Yeah, actually, the way, but you should see the rest, because the way that Kamila converted it was really nice.
Yeah. Okay. So knight g3 by Kata, and rook e5, hitting that queen. Queen f3, and knight f6. So you're not giving white any chance to come in. So that's very good. Rook
No, I
a7.
mean, what's really nice about this position is just the way, it's really impressive the way that black's pieces are just, holding everything together in the center. I mean, it's quite unusual to have this rook on e5 outside the pawn chain, but it's it's almost impossible. It's impossible for white to create a target. And that knight on g3 is really boxed in. I mean, I think we can see the difference that it would make to the position if that g6 pawn was not on the board, because then that knight on g3 would have a lot more future.
Yeah, it could go on to f5 or something. But luckily,
so Kata is trying for some tricks, because look, or she's threatening, she's threatening rook takes e7 check here, undermining. Or in fact, she's just threatening queen takes f6 check, isn't she? So
queen takes f6, of course, yes.
Yeah, because the e pawn is now pinned.
Yeah, okay. So queen e6. So this is a good defensive move, because that defends there. And if queen takes and rook takes, has got king takes, so you're fine. Yeah. Okay. And she plays h3 now. Is she planning something devious?
No, because she doesn't have any moves.
Yeah, she's run out of attacking ideas, really. So but it's kind of not yet resignable. So it's that sort of horrible stage where you have to keep going.
Yes. Yeah. So rook h8, king g1, and rook h4. Bring your other rook right.
I really like this game, because I like just it's very sort of artistic what Kamila did with her rooks in this game.
Yeah. Queen f2 and rook d4. And there they are, right in the middle.
Look at the way these rooks have kind of organized, come round, swung round the back in front of the pawns.
Yeah. Very pretty. And the queen as well, isn't it? They're just all working together.
Yeah.
Rook b7, b4, just stopping the c pawn, kind of pushing it. b3 she played.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, black has everything positionally as well as being having an extra pawn. It's a very depressing position as white.
Rook a1 and queen e5, putting another piece onto the knight on g3. Yeah, actually, all your pawns, it's like just on this kind of dark square.
It's like drafts. Yeah.
Playing drafts. Rook a7. But you've got enough pieces. Okay, defend with the knight.
Yeah, because you see now the rooks have left the f file, so white has no attack down the f file any longer.
Yeah. Rook b8. Threatening queen f8 now. So rook f4. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something just very geometric about the way these rooks kind of swing around.
Yeah.
Did she resign in this? I think she did.
Yeah,
right? She resigned. Yeah, because she's losing a piece. She's now losing the. Well, I think she's lost her queen. In fact, yeah.
Rook e1 and rook.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So, yeah.
Very nice. What a nice final position with those kind of pawns lined up there, and you've got the rooks one side, and then you've got all of black pieces just on the other side, right in the center. Very good. Great. Oh, hi, Kenworthy. Hi, Caroline. Fantastic game there, Kamila. Okay, what do you think of the games today? Have you been following at all?
Yes, a bit. I watched Schultz against Kubova Almer.
Yeah, this is the one that we haven't yet looked at in our commentary. I've just been in the tournament hall, so actually I know the deal here. But yeah,
okay. It's end game, I think. Yeah.
Should we have a little look at this one? We haven't seen this at all yet.
Yeah, this was an extraordinary opening.
Okay, so this is Lara against Anna Maria. So let's see how this all happened. E4, C6. Knight f3, d5, d3.
Oh, I didn't even know this was a line against the Caro-Kann. I mean, this looks a really strange way to play. I mean, of course, there's the 2 knights against the Caro-Can, where white would place 3 knights e3 in that position, which is very popular these days. Has come back into fashion with a lot of very strong players now trying this line. But I've simply never seen, and 2d3 with the idea of 3 knight d2 is also well known. But I've never seen this one before, and it looks very odd, because white is just offering to swap queens, get a more or less symmetrical pawn structure, and give up the right to castle, right on move 3. So it's an extraordinary
seem like white could have an edge from this, does it?
It's an extraordinary way to play for an advantage as white. It's it shows that nowadays actually people kind of play anything in chess and get away with it.
Yeah, bishop e2, knight d7. So presumably it's a known line, though. It's not
I guess so. I mean, I haven't checked on my database. I will check it soon. But yeah, I'm really surprised.
Looks like she's swapping off. Sorry, Lara Novelty. Looks like she's swapping things off quickly.
I just want to draw. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't think she is. I would expect that Lara was playing to win this game. And though she can't win the tournament, then she's the higher rated player, and she's white, and she's also in much better form than her opponent this tournament. So I'm fairly sure she's not just kind of playing for equality. I suspect she's been trying to get Anna Maria out of theory, and just play, banking on the fact that she's a stronger player and she's playing better in general, and she's just going to try and outplay her. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was something to be said. It's very hard because here with black, you sort of feel that actually you ought to be able to do almost anything sensible and be okay, really, because objectively there's no reason not to. I mean, maybe so there's no ought to, but I mean, black could have also considered just exchanging bishop for knight on f3 and then going e5.
Yeah.
Just giving up the bishop pair and going e5 and shutting down white's bishop. The bishop's a little bit clumsy. Yeah, I mean, so after bishop e2, she could take. Knight takes. I mean, maybe even knight d7 first. I don't know.
It's equal, I think.
Yeah, of course.
You're giving away the bishop pair, aren't you? And you're
giving away the bishop pair, but generally speaking, that shouldn't. White has also given up the right to castle, so that shouldn't be so important in this kind of position.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that bishop is a little bit clumsy on e6.
Yeah, it doesn't have much. It's kind of defending this now f5 pawn, like before.
I don't like. Yeah, I mean,
I think f5 should be after f4 and stop
I don't like this move very much. I mean,
it's not strange when you're without any develop on king's right and you play
she's
f5.
kind of because structurally, and developmentally, there's no objective reason why black should have any problems in making an equal game, getting to an equal position in this opening. But I mean, so she's really, I think she's gifted Lara some things strategically here. I mean, just for example, I don't know what Lara played in this position. Okay, so she went knight to d2, yes?
Yeah, knight d2.
And now, for example, I mean, if black exchanges pawns on e4, knight takes. Now you see suddenly already in just a few moves, black is structurally worse because she has an isolated pawn on the e file.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's going to have to, she's got some difficulty getting her pieces out, and that was kind of completely unnecessary after the first 4 moves. She didn't need to do that.
I guess
when she could have just exchanged off her bishop either for the knight or for the bishop on e2 and played more normally.
Yeah. She must have been completely taken by surprise for this.
I think this is the thing, you know, and this is why we've seen a number of players playing these sort of offbeat opening variations, is because if you make your opponent, and it's a good strategy against a player you outrate, that if you make and that you've got generally somewhat better understanding than, if you make your opponent think for themselves right from the start, then they have to make strategic decisions, and if they're less experienced, then they're less likely to get those decisions right. And I kind of feel, I mean, I've only looked at it for a couple of minutes, but I think, she's already kind of given her opponent something here that was quite unnecessary after the first few moves.
Yeah. Here.
Okay, so right, and now so her knight is going to.
Now the knight g5. So that, yes, this bishop on e6 will have to move again now. Okay, but it does defend this. She defends the
Okay,
pawn.
but now I guess is she going bishop to c4? And
that's exactly where she wants.
Exactly. Yeah. Black is a little bit weak on those light squares, and again that was completely not necessary after what we saw in the first 4 moves of this game. She's kind of given her opponent a reason to just keep playing.
Blue Grey Haze saying King's Indian attack against the Caro, and the moves are all a little strange. Okay.
It's not a King's Indian attack really, because in the King's Indian attack, White doesn't change the queens on d1 on.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the typical King's Indian attack, White goes 2 d3 and then knight d2 to close the d file to the exchange of queens.
Yeah. Okay, 95, defending that f7 square. Bishop drops back, and 95.
Okay, so black is still a pawn up, but that e6 square is quite vulnerable.
Yeah.
She's not going to be a pawn up anymore after she. So now she's removed her defense of the e4 pawn. Okay, so I think that move is she's just intending to go g4.
Yeah, and then maybe depending where that bishop goes, then she
exactly. Either she will win the e6 square, or she will have additional options for taking on e4, which of course she could have done, I think, just immediately in that position, but that pawn is not going anywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so black exchanges off, and h6. White goes in on e6.
Yeah, she's made it very hard for herself to get out her f8 bishop in this game.
That is true. That bishop,
and that was a direct consequence of playing first bishop e6, blocking the e pawn, and then playing f5.
Yeah.
And even with the material reduced, then that is really going to. The position is opening up, so she's suffering here.
So King d7, of course, White does not go in and take on f8.
No, White that would solve all Black's problems.
That would solve the problems in an instant.
Yeah.
So White goes exactly the other way.
But it's a basic rule of chess. Don't exchange your good pieces for your opponent's bad ones.
Yeah.
Basic principle.
So Black plays King c7. And White now lines up on these 2 bishops on the f file. So Rook f1.
Yeah, I think this creates more problems for Black than taking back on e4 immediately.
Defends.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a risk there's a risk she could. Okay, so she finally has opened a line for that bishop. But now there's a risk she's going to lose all those pawns, isn't there?
Both the e pawns. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think
position open.
Yeah. There's a risk she'll lose both the e6 pawn and e4 pawn and just suddenly be a pawn down.
Yeah, and white straight away takes this e6 pawn. Takes. Okay, and now black finally does get out this bishop. So bishop to c5. White easily defends on e3. And rook onto the e-file. Bishop back. The pawn on e4 is looking a little bit weak. So, okay, bishop b6, knight c4 takes. And white doesn't recapture straight away. What white does is throw in a bit of an annoying check there.
So did she have something better than knight takes c4? Did you see?
I'm not sure, but
because it's actually it's very, very difficult suddenly. It's very difficult.
Yeah,
because she can't play rook e7 because white will take and
maybe she can play like bishop c5 and after knight e5, rook a5, rook f7 and just rook e7.
Yeah, so maybe the bishop shouldn't have gone back to yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bishop should never have gone back to b6 in the first. The b6 was the wrong square for the bishop.
It's too passive for him, I think.
Yeah.
So here, this move. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that I think is a mistake because if she can, I mean, what? Okay, I see. So, but her e4 pawn is attacked, isn't it? This is the problem: is that her e4 pawn is attacked, and
and this way, then the bishop's going to be,
and then the bishop is going to be attacked. And the problem is if she moves her, and if she moves her knight to discover a defense on the pawn, then the rook is coming into f7 immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's tricky already.
It's really, I mean, maybe it's just gone already.
Maybe you move it back like to d7 or something so that you let the rook in, but it's not check. But still that g7 pawn's going to be...
The other problem is that the rook can come to f4. I mean, yeah. So, or rook, that pawn is very weak. I mean, what black really wants to do is give that up and then somehow, try and regain it, turn it into a semi-open e-file and try and regain it. But,
yeah. So the king is forced out.
Yeah, so I just saw this position and I think this is just completely gone for black. Because she has these two pawns forked on the 7th rank. Her e pawn is still weak. Her h6 pawn is going to be weak in a minute as well, and she has no counterplay whatsoever. White has no targets.
But she has a little chance because of different colors. But because they have rook, it's
so opposite bishops. Yeah.
So this is a good point actually that Kamila has just made, is that sometimes people are mistakenly overconfident about that, the chances of drawing or holding this sort of position as the side with fewer pawns in this position because of the opposite color bishops. But when there are rooks on the board, then actually it's much easier to win these positions when you're a pawn up or 2 pawns up. And here it looks very close to being 2 pawns already. B7 is, her pieces are incredibly clumsy. She has no way to defend B7, and the h6 pawn and e4, they're all falling off. I mean, I can see Lara is down to little time on the clock, but I don't think that's going to matter. There's no danger here. It's so easy to play this position.
White's not taking any risks here. It's just
and it's astonishing that this e3 pawn that she's ended up with it's not a weakness at all. Black has no way to get in there.
So bishop f6. Okay, so black's trying to get some.
Okay, so she's trying to take off the b2 pawn. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So white takes on b7 and black does take on b2. And then white resumes this attack on the e4 pawn. So at the moment, what is it? 4 pawns against 5. So at the moment it's +1 for white.
Yeah, but that looks like it's about to turn into +2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So bishop
white
C1.
has, and I mean, you know, she can't even move the rook because the a7 pawn is hanging.
True.
And h6 is still looking very weak to me.
Okay, so the tally is now 2 pawns to white, and still the black pawns look weaker.
Yeah.
Rook d8.
Okay, so she's trying to get in on d2.
b4.
Yeah.
Here, forking 2 pawns. c5. Rook e4 check. King up. Bishop c4. I think she's maybe going to close off this d-file. Check. Oh, she does it nicely. Closes off the d-file.
Yeah. And then she's going to go after the h6 pawn again. And now she's going to have her bishop outside the pawns.
So there we go. Now, how many are we now? We're 3. 3 pawns.
Yeah.
King a3. But maybe black will get one back. Rook a6.
I don't think so.
You don't think so, Harriet? a4. Bishop c6. No, you're
well, okay, the rook is coming into d2. But it's all going to be, you know, too little, too late, really.
Yes. King takes, bishop takes. There goes another pawn, and black is down to just 1 pawn left. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you know, this is the sort of position. It's just you're trying to decide when to resign, really. Because
Yeah. Because there's 2 pass pawns right over there on the king side. And
I mean, when you're so many pawns up, then opposite colored bishops without the rooks will be easily winning as well.
Yeah. Actually, no, she hasn't resigned yet. This is the live position.
Okay, but she could resign. It wouldn't be unreasonable. It's just sort of going through the motions until. Yeah, I mean so it really worked there for Lara to take her opponent out of theory, because Anna Marie made some very dubious strategic decisions in the you know, when she had to think for herself at the beginning there, that were really not necessary. You know, it should be, but it's like you have to decide what to do, and you know, she made things over complicated, really.
Yeah. Now we've got the chat is telling us that Joanna is now outplaying Lan Yao. So we better.
Now this is interesting, because when I went into the commentary, into the playing hall a few minutes ago, actually, when I looked at the position on the board, I was a bit more. I think I'd been quite pessimistic about Joanna's position, and when I looked at it, we got to this position, and when I looked at it in person, then it somehow didn't feel. It didn't feel so negative for Joanna to me. You know, sometimes you get caught in this narrative.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think we can change.
I think so. So one of the games in the meantime, then one of the games has finished, clearly, at least I assume it has, by the fact that Ketty Arakami Grant has appeared and did win. I think So congratulations to Ketty, who's won her last round game, which we were following earlier against Teja Vidic, and that is not a surprise to me from the position that I saw about.
Right.
I was going to say 15 minutes.
Good afternoon, Ketty. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm just still in the game, I guess. I'm not sure where I am at the moment.
Right. Okay. So this is your game. So we saw some of it. Where did we see it?
Actually, Natasha, this one was the other way round. When I looked at this one in person, then I thought, no, actually, this was hopeless for Teja.
Yes, this bishop c2. This was a nice move, wasn't it? Yeah, just kind of lining up against the king and maybe planning h4 or
Yeah, that's right. Actually, the main idea was to stop queen f5. Somehow I thought that queen f5 would.
I got something right. That was what I said.
Is that what you said?
I did say that was why you played bishop to c2, yes.
Yeah, because bishop b3 kind of more solid, I guess.
Yeah, but actually, what's it doing
queen
there?
f5, and then I was not entirely sure. I just did not want it to allow any activity. Yeah.
But I also thought it would make her quite worried because, she has to think, oh God, are you going to go h4 and h5? And that's quite alarming for black.
Yes, that's, I guess, always the part of the plan. I suppose she could have gone king h8. Maybe that was a little bit...
yeah, but still, there are still sometimes you can think about going, depending on how quickly she does it, even if you go h4.
Not here, actually.
No, not here, because she might go h5,
the earlier. So I think, is it previous move that she played king h7? So maybe king h8. Just putting things on the
okay.
Yeah. So getting out of the check on e7, but not.
Yes. But putting.
Okay. So king h7 was just the previous move. Yeah.
But it's kind of quite hard to anticipate. I think that it's going to become sensitive on this diagonal because it seems quite kind of solid.
Well, if it's a position with the opposite color bishops, just try to put all your pieces on the color of your bishop. I think, to make it kind of safer. And
this sounds like Soviet school of chess training to me.
No idea. It's just I made it up over the board today. No idea. I just thought, if she played king h8, then bishop c2 would not have been possible because the knight d5 is actually.
Okay. So I see what you mean. It cuts out these tactics that we were looking at. Yeah, because white. And that was quite important.
Yeah. And then
then she maybe can get queen f5 in.
Well, Then if I have to play bishop b3 instead of bishop c2, then queen f5 might be possible. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about whether all the tactics are working. That was just my feeling during the game. That
No, but you're right. This is the move that black wants to play to try and tie white's pieces down to that d5 pawn. With the knight e7 fork is not dangerous at the moment because of the rook taking on c1.
Yeah. Mm. So, but it's a very interesting position actually. Not straightforward at all. I mean, I'm not sure what was happening in the opening. Did you have any idea?
No, I didn't really. No, we went through the opening quite fast because we mostly were looking at Joanna's game for the sake of the tournament situation. So we'd gone through this quite fast and just kind of stopped in this position.
My opponent played very quickly, so I suspect she was familiar with the opening, and I guess it probably was a theory for a large part of it. But
I pointed out that you'd played a4, trying to break her open on the queen side in the same way that I did to you yesterday.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, it's just, I guess you need to create some weaknesses.
Yeah.
So the e6 was the weakness. But it took me a long time actually to realize how strong is the knight on c6.
Yeah, because at first I wasn't sure whether black could just play around it. But I think part of her problem is it's very hard. Her knight is not on a good square on b6 really.
Not now.
No.
I mean, a few moves earlier, it was a beautiful piece on c4.
Yeah.
But somehow, because there was this 97 tactic working in some cases, the knight...
Yeah, you had to go back that way, didn't you?
Black could have her knight on... If black could transfer her knight to e5 quickly enough in this position, then, of course, she would be a lot happier.
Yeah, that's the problem, that she never could play knight e5 because of 97.
Yeah, but it's too... So she never managed to achieve it, actually.
I could not believe it, So here, 95 not possible.
Oh, yeah.
That's the move black would like to play.
Yeah.
And now it's met with
and now this one wins. So unlike in a different position we looked at earlier, then this one is now winning.
Yeah, knight b6 protects the rook.
Yeah.
That's the reason for going back. But then knight on b6 is very defensive. I mean, I did wonder if instead of queen d7, again, playing something more active like queen g5 was something that I was worried about. I think with the opposite color bishops, you do have to look for the activity.
Yeah.
If you start playing absolutely defensively, then at some point it's going to backfire. But I don't know exactly what queen g5, but I was worried about this one. Well, it's still I still can play bishop b3, I guess. But
I mean,
here
maybe,
there
you
are
know,
lots
she
of
was
things.
worried about something like f4, but you really
Yeah.
don't want to be,
But
you know, you don't
f4
want to be
weakening my
exactly.
king.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
so
suddenly her
that's-
bishop becomes much more
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm winning anything by
No,
playing
because she
f4,
can
and
drop
I
back to queen f6
Exactly.
or somewhere, and then your
Yeah.
open diagonals and your f4 pawn are just going to become a liability, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean,
So-
knight e3 is already is a little bit annoying.
Yeah, no.
No, I mean, I
F4
know you
looks-
wouldn't have played it, but it's
yeah.
the sort of reason why
It's the idea.
she might have just thought, oh, you know, I don't want to risk this, and then ended up making a more passive move.
No, that's I think just sort of looking for the activity. I mean, I can play bishop b3 here because knight e5 still does not work.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't believe it. I was calculating, knight e5, knight e7, yeah?
Yeah. Though actually, do you have f4 in that position?
Well, I might do, yeah. Although still not entirely sure. I was calculating some very crazy ideas of black giving the rook and somehow the dark squares, you know, she's getting counterplay.
Yeah.
I don't know, that was... But no, I think 95, 97 works.
Yeah.
But what I was calculating is... I don't know. Did I calculate knight b2 somehow? But then 97 anyway. No, it's the same, yeah. But I was...
Knight e7, can she go king h7 in that position?
Yeah. This is this is what I was looking for. It was really scary. So yeah. So then, I think I rejected that. Yeah, because now it's white is losing.
Now white is losing. Yeah.
So queen c2 and then knight d3. That was what I was looking at. And then knight e7 now also does not work. Because...
You've gone quiet, Ketty, I think.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work it out. This is, you know, when you're really scared over the board and you do all the great moves for your opponent, that's not a good idea.
So can she just go king h7 again here?
Yeah, so king h7, and here I'm winning something, but
queen.
I thought I was winning something. Maybe I'm not even winning.
So it's important that black takes this rook with the queen, because otherwise they'll get checkmated on g8. So, but queen takes c1 and then recapturing with the...
Yeah, and this is not obvious that it is winning, right? And the ending is not...
No, that's not at all. I mean, because she can secure her d6 pawn with the bishop. Yeah, I don't think that's winning or even necessarily better.
Yeah, and this knight b2, knight d3 maneuver really sort of... And then, you know, if I don't play knight d7, then knight goes to f4. And who knows? Now it's black attacking, right?
Yeah. And your bishop is not a very helpful defender, and your knight is not a very helpful defender either.
Yeah. So, I don't know. After queen g5, I need to come up with something better. So I think that was the critical moment.
Yeah.
I think that was the critical moment. So
I'd be prepared to bet she was worried about f4. One of the things I was saying earlier in this game is that when you're, you know, as Taya has had, you know, she's had a bad tournament, she's had some tactical blunders, and in that sort of situation, when you've lost a lot of games and made some tactical blunders, you become very nervous about your own calculating ability. You know, you lose confidence in yourself to not make a further tactical blunder.
Yeah, so that's...
I think. But then I was really struck when I went back into the tournament hall, you know, because it wasn't so obvious to me that Ketty was vastly better in the last position we looked at. But then actually when I went back into the tournament hall, I thought, no, this is completely over.
What was the last position?
So here, so queen e2.
Okay, so I don't think...
Yeah, Queen
yeah.
E2 somehow was important.
And now, I mean, you know, black has rerouted her knight, but look how passive it is. And I thought, no, this is going to be a disaster.
And then you bring the queen in.
Again, with the opposite color bishops, whichever side is attacking usually has the upper hand. Yeah. Almost attacking with the extra piece.
Yeah. This bishop on g7 is actually not hugely relevant to things.
Well, at the moment, yeah, but if one mistake from
then
my
your
side,
h4 comes in.
I wondered if she should go. Could she have gone queen d6 in that position, or is then you go queen e7?
Queen b6, h5.
No. Instead of rook c7, instead of rook c7.
Okay.
Yeah, I wondered if she should try and to change the knights and put her bishop on d4. I mean, it's not very inspiring. I think it probably will. Yeah.
I mean, pawn on f7 is also.
Yeah, exactly. You know, in some positions you have like queen to e7 or queen to f4.
You do need to put rook on c7 sooner or
Okay.
later. No, from now on, I did not see any improvement for white. For black, sorry. I think that was kind of, all the white pieces on the light squares.
Oh dear, and that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe just instead of f5, h5 should have played better, right?
Yeah.
There are ideas with g4 and h5 in this case, so.
Yeah.
Black is trying to create a fortress.
Yeah, but it's not as rock solid on the king side as it looks.
Yeah, here I kind of thought of the idea of rerouting the bishop on f3, so that one piece is occupied with defending the c6 pawn, and then I have two major pieces that are free to actually enter the black's position on the king side, and
now it's kind of a bit of a model of an attack, with opposite color bishops.
Takes.
Oh dear.
Takes again.
Yeah. Nope.
Well done, checkmate. That was a nice like conversion from where we had it, where we weren't really sure up until this.
Okay, so Natasha, it's 2 minutes to 6, and which basically, I mean, I know there's no time control here as such, but I would guess that things are getting either something has probably happened in the Joanna Dvorkovska against Lan Yao game, and we had a comment from one of our viewers some time ago saying that Joanna was now outplaying Lan Yao. So let's see if this assessment is correct.
Queen e4, knight b8, queen takes, rook takes. So the queens have come off. Rook b1. Okay, so now
that knight has not ended up on a terribly happy circuit. Yeah, and now white. Yeah. Oh, is that rook coming into b7? Is it? No.
Knight c6 first.
Okay.
And rook b3.
Okay, so now the a7 pawn is hit.
Yeah. 5 takes, g4, g5, bishop back, king h7, king f1, bishop here, and the rook does come in on b7. Okay, so black's got the d3 pawn. White's got the a7 pawn.
Okay, so I suspect we're missing a lot because you're going through this about as fast as the moves were probably being played, and I suspect there's a lot of quite critical stuff going on here.
The c pawn cannot suddenly advance. Doesn't come to anything.
Where do you want to see?
So I think the clock times we're seeing are the live clock times. So
Yeah.
rather than the clock times at this point in the game.
No, it'd be the live clock times. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Seconds on the board, on the clock.
I mean, it's not even clear to me who's better or who's trying to be better. So
well, I suspect it's white with the A-pass pawn, but
but black, the E pawn is.
I know. It's one of those positions that is probably all three results are possible.
Yeah, and actually, where it's easy to lose it because you simply you can think you were better and playing for the win, and then you find that actually no, the opponent was playing for the win. So.
Yeah, when the situation changes so quickly and you don't have time to.
And when actually probably the level of play is dropping just because the players have too little time to make to count. I mean, and it's quite tactical still potentially because there's a lot of pieces that are kind of dependent on one another here. So
yeah.
Okay.
There's still quite a lot of moves they have played.
Right. Position will be completely different now on the board, I suspect.
And knight c6, rook d5. So they're repeated.
Okay. So who's playing for a win? Let's see.
Right.
Well, now white deviated. So Jana deviated.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is objective or because of the tournament situation. You have to bear this in mind.
What is the tournament?
So Joanna needs to win to overtake Lan. Right. Any other result, Lan wins the tournament.
Oh, is she half a point
behind?
Yeah.
She's yeah.
So rook takes.
Okay, so hang on. Could black have taken on e5 in that position?
Here?
I suppose then maybe the A pawn is quite fast. Okay.
There is knight c6 at some point.
Knight f5.
Knight f5, yeah. Mind that bishop.
Yeah. Okay, so she gets check. King f3, and then moves the bishop away.
Just need knight g3 check.
Oh, knight g3 check would be not nice for black. So rook c6, rook a3 check, e8, e6, f6, e7.
Oh no!
There goes a piece.
There goes a piece.
Takes here. Knight f5. Is this all over then? King g4. Knight e3 check. King here. Knight d5. Rook a3. Knight f6 check. Takes. Okay. Oh goodness. We're not going to get rook and bishop against rook, are we?
No, I don't think there's any way those pawns are getting exchange.
F2 pawn is forever.
Yeah. Rook a4.
And now
King g4, bishop c3, king f5, g4. And this is where we're at. So we have to conclude white should win this game.
It's not quite. We can't cover it. So what should we?
Yeah.
What should we do? Probably we should do king to f4. Yes.
King f4.
King f4.
And just winning the.
And then put our bishop on d4. We better not put our bishop on. If the rook moves, we'll go put our bishop on. If rook a2, bishop to d4.
Because, white is actually threatening something now.
Yeah.
Rook g4.
So
rook g5 is a threat.
Rook g5.
Actually, bishop e5.
Right. I think we say
bye, Natasha.
Ketty's off.
See you, Ketty. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Okay. So she's gone bishop e5. They're playing now on increments. And I think, did you say there's no added time at any point?
There's no added time at any point. So this is it, basically.
That king, yeah, could.
But I mean, now she can just go. Can she just go king to d4 and then bishop back to g3 to hold the pawn, or even bishop to g3 immediately.
Right, and then take.
And I think that's,
Yep.
Yeah.
She's done it. Yeah. So it's not.
So she's just going to follow up with king. No, she's just going to follow up with king to d4.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing to do here.
So rook a3 checks, so king d4 we're expecting.
Okay, so she's probably just, yeah. I mean, black is far too slow to take on g3. You know, white's king is very central and is going to get back in time for that g pawn.
Yeah. Yeah, so that went that turned around in a time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it really turned around, because there wasn't, you know, a moment at which we thought that Lan was winning this game. I mean, my feeling was that it all got very random in that position about maybe 15 moves ago or so. Yeah, and then suddenly White's e-pawn came good, but I suspect that the quality of the accuracy of the play probably dropped quite a lot by around then, which is completely understandable, and is just really a consequence of playing at this time limit. I think, you know, to play decent chess, you do need to have extra time at move 40. This situation where you go straight to playing on increment does lead to this sort of thing.
So I guess it's going to be.
And now, so she's just going to round up that g pawn
as well. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing that black can do about that.
Yeah. So disappointing then for Lan Yao, because of the norm situation and the win of the tournament. If she does lose this one.
Yeah, of course. So what? King to e3 now, and then king to f4 if necessary. Oh, she's doing it a different way. It will come to the same thing.
Yeah. G-pawn won't last too much longer.
No.
So what, rook G5 maybe?
Disappointing, but I mean, also there's no sense that, you know, she threw this one away. I mean, Joanna Dorokovska was in a position where she had to play for the win in this game. In a sense, she didn't have much to lose, and she didn't seem to get a great position out of the opening, but she just had to keep going, and that is what's happening, is that these games have become very unpredictable in the later stages, and we've seen that in a lot of games. That all sorts of games, the results could have been different in, but the clock has played a factor. And I think, she didn't miss a clear winning opportunity or a clear drawing opportunity, and yeah. And I mean, black against Dvorokhovska in the last round was always going to be needing a win, was always going to be, a challenging pairing. So
for sure.
Okay, so she's just going to go, I think she's just going to go king to g5 and then offer to change the rooks off, because it's completely winning without the rooks on the board, because black can't hold on to that g-pawn. So she will go rook to g6 and rook to h6 if necessary, just to drive the king away from the defense of that g-pawn. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps when this one finishes, I mean, without wanting to detract at all from Joanna's fantastic achievement in winning the tournament, then it might be nice to show how things could have been very, very different, and that there really was not much difference between the top of this tournament and the bottom. There is one position from the game between Teja Vidic and Joanna Dvorokhovska from a couple of rounds ago.
Let's do it now, because I'm going to need to stop quite soon.
I think it's pretty clear cut what's happening there. I think this was a round 7 game.
Yeah, here we go. So this is it.
And this just shows you actually that, despite the scores, there was really not so much difference between the top of, the player who finished at the top of the tournament and the player who finished at the bottom. And this could have gone either way. So we won't go through the whole game, but if we just go back, this is the final position, which is obviously checkmate. But if we just go back to further, about 5 moves beyond the top of where you've scrolled to. So yeah, let's see the position after h4, after 23 h4. Can you click on that and bring it up? Is it not working?
Say it again.
Connection's breaking up a bit.
Which position to broke up? What did you see?
Can we get the position after 23? After 23 h4, if we can get that position on 23. Yeah. Okay. So actually, Teja had really outplayed Joanna in this game. White's knight is offside on a5, and black has a great kingside attack. Okay, we're struggling a bit with communication, but never mind. Let's press on. Okay, I'll show you one thing. So Teja went queen e4 in this position. Can you put that on the board? Oh, okay. We've lost Natasha for now. Hopefully she'll be back in a minute, and we'll get a chance. There were a couple of really brilliant tactics in this game if we manage to get it back on. And in the meantime, I'm guessing that Joanna has won by now, and hopefully she might appear and we can talk to her. But in the meantime, let's hope that Natasha can come back. And I don't know. They may not appear because I think the sponsor may be here and ready to hand out the prizes. So whether we will get to speak to the winner, I'm not sure. So for any viewers who are wondering why I'm commentating today rather than playing, then there was a clash between the last 2 rounds of this tournament and the last 2 rounds of the 4NCL, the National Chess League, in the Midlands this weekend. So 2 of the English players in the tournament needed to play their last round games early so they could leave for that competition. So I played my game against Katarzyna Toma at an earlier stage. And do we have Natasha back? Hi, Natasha. Are you back online?
Hello.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi there. Okay, I think we should probably wrap up pretty soon because I think my internet's maybe struggling.
Okay.
Fine. Do you think we might get
So I was just
Joanna
wondering whether we
Lanyard
might
to
get
join us?
Joanna, but they may be having a prize giving. I can go and see if you like.
Okay.
Shall I go and see?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the meantime,
You can go and see, but it might be.
Go and see.
Okay. Fine. So in this position, we've got. Let's see what happened here. So White eventually won this game, but I'm going to put the computer back on so we can just see.
They're still going. They're still going.
So it's actually
yeah, they're still playing. So in the meantime, let's if your internet will manage to play King H2 on the board, will it manage that, Natasha? Or can it not cope with any more moves?
King H2.
King H2.
King H2, and I put the computer back on just so we could see.
You see the evaluation, and so I spotted this because I was watching this game because I'd already finished my game, and Black has an absolutely brilliant tactic here. Black can play Queen takes pawn on E5. And this is what.
Wait! I want to know what to see it. Queen takes pawn on E5.
Yeah.
So take. We're taking on.
Yeah.
F2?
So can you? Yeah, we're taking on F2. Can you put that on the board so we can see it?
Rook takes
okay.
F2. There you go.
So the rook is hitting that pawn on G2, supported by the bishop, and White is almost has no way of defending it because of this pin on the second rank. Well, there are pins in both directions. That rook is pinning in both directions on the second rank, and this is really hampering White. So, for example, rook to G1 in this position. Okay, Natasha's struggling to get this on the board, but if in rook to G1, the idea is just D3, attack that pin piece again.
Yeah.
D3. And I pointed this out to Joanna after the game, and she said she hadn't missed it completely.
Yeah.
Okay, we're struggling to get these moves on the board, but if anyone is watching and is interested, it's worth looking at this game because and so Black at the moment has a rook and a pawn for the queen, but that knight now on D2 is going, and then Black will get the knight into F4. So White's position is completely collapsing, and this knight on A5 is looking incredibly sidelined.
Yeah. So this would have been an incredible thing to find. Queen takes E5.
Yeah,
Very nice tactic.
It's much easier to find these things as a spectator because also, you don't have to worry too much about whether you've calculated accurately. But I mean, I spotted this. I spotted this quite quickly, and I thought, oh yeah, if you were playing a blitz game, you would just bash this out. Of course, it's more difficult in a game where you need to calculate everything. But it's just, I mean, it's the right thing to want to do. And I mean, just, an example, if we don't put the rook on g1. So if we put that rook back, where was it? Where was it? C1. Okay, I mean, if white plays something like
C1.
queen, white plays something like queen to d3 to try and break the pin in this position. Okay, and now black plays just rook to g2 check, king to h3 to stay off the diagonal, and now rook takes e2. Yeah, exactly, because white rook can't recapture because of the fork on f4.
Very nice.
And black ends up with a very large advantage in material. So just everything is working for black in that position. I mean, there were other strong moves for black in that position as well as queen takes e5. And I'm now really taxing both Natasha's time and her internet connection, but I think you have to see this. You have to see this. So go back.
Okay, one more. Go on, tell me it.
One more. So go back to you'll thank me, Natasha. Go back to the position on the board. Okay.
Yeah, so we're on 24 d3.
Okay, so she went d3 instead, which is not such a good move. White went knight to g3.
Yeah.
Okay, and suddenly it's not so easy for black to find a good square for her queen. If she goes, for example, queen to d4, then the rook will come to c4.
Queen d4,
rook c4, and it's not, it's not easy anymore for black to force her attack through. Okay, she might still be worse, but the immediate win has gone. Anyway, let's go back to the game because you have to see what happened. This is a fantastic finish. Okay. This is a fantastic finish. So queen to g6.
Yeah.
Okay, f5. Queen to g4. Okay, f takes e6. Rook takes f2. Queen takes f2. Okay, d2. Nice. Right, so at first sight, it looks like black is winning this position, right? Because anywhere that rook moves, black is going to promote the pawn, and black it can promote with check. For example, rook to f1. Well, that won't be check, but we can take on h4 check and then queen a pawn. Okay, and black will win. Okay, but Joanna has an absolutely incredible tactic in this position. And so she played, which she found, as you notice, she after 5 minutes. So she played rook d1.
Rook d1. Okay, isn't that just on prise?
Yeah. So black is a piece down here. So she has to take this. All right. She's given up a knight for this, and now it's completely winning. Yeah.
Knight in 10, says the computer.
Exactly. The queen is interfering. The black queen on d1 is interfering with its own pawn. So queen to f7 check, king to h8, e7, and now the tables are completely turned.
This is a crazy position with pawns.
Exactly.
On both sides.
I told you you'd thank me, Natasha. I told you.
Look at this.
Thank us. Both these pawns, but black's king is the more unsafe, and black has no way here to stave off the checkmating threats. Yeah, it's going to be back rank mate or mate on g7. So she gave up her queen on g1.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. Yeah, so she's now a piece down again. King h2.
h6 to get an escape.
Because the thing is, it's going to be checkmate on the back rank, and then okay, so white's a piece up anyway, but she's got more than that. She's got checkmate. Rook 8.
Oh, queens, 2 queens now.
Yeah, 2 queens, and then queen takes
g7 mate.
Yeah.
D1. What an amazing move!
What a turnaround, and what a fantastic. So I mean, black missed a fantastic tactic, and then white took her chance. But you see, it was that we're talking about the player who finished top of the tournament against the player who finished in last place. And it was that close.
What narrow margins, exactly.
So I mean, it was thrilling to watch. I'm not sure it was thrilling for either of those players to play. But yeah.
Oh yeah, you'd get a buzz after that one, wouldn't you?
Wow. But I mean, so many positions in that game alone that could belong in a book of combinations, right?
Yeah, amazing. All right, I'm going to see if the other one, we're on back around 9. I'm going to see if it's...
Yes, look, the final scores are up. Okay.
Yes. Okay, and at the end of today, then Johanna has actually taken the lead. She's overtaken Lan Yao by winning that crucial game there. So she is the Vera Menchik Memorial Tournament winner. And big congratulations to her. Big congratulations, of course, also to Lan Yao for her WGM norm, and to Kamila, who we were talking to earlier on her successful WIM norm. So 2 norms achieved in this tournament. Great opportunity for the women there. Anything else you want to say about the tournament, Harriet?
No, I mean it's been a fantastic tournament, and I really hope we're, as Aga said earlier, we're incredibly grateful, especially to the sponsors, Caplin Systems, and we really hope that they will feel minded to continue their support of women's chess in future. And also thank you to Aga, who has driven forward this event and also 2 other recent women's norm tournaments held here at the Mind Sports Centre in West London.
Yeah, great. So wonderful event. Thanks so much to the sponsors and the organisers. Great to see so many women playing in really what's going to be a tough tournament. I mean, I would find that a tough 9-round tournament there. Have we got someone coming? No. Okay. So brilliant. Thanks everybody also very much for watching. Thanks Harriet, of course, for commentating. Really wonderful to hear from the players. And it was lovely actually to see some of the players on the stream today, Kamila, and thanks to Ketty as well. Thanks all very much. And your fans are saying great to see Harriet back in chess. So a very popular figure is Harriet in the English chess scene.
Thanks very much. Well, I wish I'd finished a little higher up in the tournament, but what can you do?
Next time. There's always next time.
Next time, yeah.
All righty. Okay, so we're going to wrap up now. Thanks everyone very much for watching.